Hello. Good afternoon. Well, good night, technically, but yeah.
So we're back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
We
We
did
are
not
back.
embarrass ourselves enough the first time, so we're gonna do it again.
Exactly. The reviews from the first episode that no one's heard yet were so good that they asked for more. We got an endorsement from 6ix9ine himself. 6ix9ine himself has yet to stop to keep the boner down
The
from having
king of
6ix9ine
New
endorsement.
York,
The king of New York.
the new Tupac,
The the new Tupac.
or so he calls himself.
Or what he calls himself, 6ix9ine. He literally, and I'm not making any of this up, called after this podcast because we sent them the exclusive unreleased episode before anyone else, and he called, and he was like, "Hey, yo, got the sticky pluck, and you got the icky. I want to be on your podcast." And was like, "Oh my god," you know, his little like Chilango accent, like, "Oh my god."
Do not disrespect 6ix9ine like that.
Do not
you
disrespect
do not
6ix9ine.
sound.
But I mean, that's what he
anything
said. I'm relaying to the audience exactly what 6ix9ine said.
Yeah, he did say that.
Exactly.
We don't lie in this podcast.
We don't lie in this podcast. This is a 100% truth podcast. All right. Like 100. We tell nothing but the truth on this podcast. We are the voice of reason. Alex Jones can suck my dick because he thinks he's the voice of reason. Well, he's not. We are.
Yep.
All right. We're not trying to sell weird fucking boner pills or whatever he fucking sells on his stupid fucking tinfoil reptile people podcast. We tackle the real issues here.
We don't
All right.
have anything against boner pills, though.
We don't have no boner pills.
But we're not selling them.
I can't wait for the day when I can't get my dick hard, so I have to be like addicted to boner pills because that just sounds like amazing, like a drug induced erection. Like, you know how powerful that could be. You know, like that's probably one of the most consumed medications.
You should take one just for fun.
Honestly,
See what happens.
if any boner pill companies are listening to this, go ahead and lob us a sponsor. So that way I can take it just so I can have my dick on like diamond hard mode.
What? So
you know?
the requirement is to be like take the pill before the podcast.
Yes,
Stay
take the
hard
so
the
we're
whole time?
both just fully torqued before,
down.
before every episode and during, and then like even 4 hours into it, we're like, should we call the doctor? Nah, like let's just you know, I like to go with the flow. Let's just enjoy the ride.
There's nothing gay with two homies with a hard on speaking.
And even if it is gay, it's 2020.
yeah,
You know,
there's no
what's
problem
wrong with
that.
being a little gay with your homie? All right, if you got a problem with being a little gay with your homie, you know what? You might be a bigot, and you know what? We don't like bigots on this podcast. We dox them. We
You
find out where
cancel
your family
bigots.
lives. We find out where you work. All right, and we will tell the public. All right,
And we
Giggles
will
and I
cancel you.
will find and we'll cancel you just like we addressed it in the last episode. All right. We will cancel you because we're that powerful. But anywho,
Anyway, I
what
do
if-
want to thank you because
Yes.
before we started, you gave me this amazing beer called Slap and Tickle.
Exactly.
And,
From
oh Lord, am I getting slapped and tickled right now?
yes.
It's really good. So thank
This no, of course, anytime, man. This is it's a West Coast IPA, 6.7% alcohol by volume from Brewery X, locally here in Anaheim, which I have had many drunken altercations and fights with, even though there's children allowed in there for some reason. Like they let children in
you. Where?
at Brewery X. It's like a family. Like it's weird. Like all these breweries now, they're like family friendly. So like when you go, you're like trying to get drunk with your homies, and there's like 3 toddlers playing that little like cornhole game where like you toss the sack on the other side, and like they have like big cup pong. Like
You gotta start them young. You know, you gotta show them what they're gonna
exactly,
be into in the future.
exactly, you know, and I agree with you. But at the end of the day, if you see me fighting a 6-year-old because he thinks he can say the ABCs faster than me, and he hurt my ego, you got another. I mean, that's just what happens, you know. You mix alcohol, annoying ass kids. I mean, some kids bound to catch a punch.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they can say the ABCs backwards
Better
better than you because you couldn't even plug in the mic earlier. You know, it took
you
us.
know what?
It took us like 20 minutes
When-
to figure out that your mic was not plugged in
When
right.
you reach my level of genius, those little minute redundant things like plugging a microphone, like they don't matter anymore. I'm too good to do that. This is why with our $1 million budget in this podcast, the sound people who handle our wiring and our sound, they didn't plug in the podcast. Therefore, they're fired.
You know, I think we should just fire them.
Dear communications intern that signed away that I forced to pay to be an intern for this podcast, you're fired. And we're writing a terrible recommendation back to your university, and you're most likely getting dropped from your classes.
Yeah,
congratulations. You failed. There goes your easy internship course credit.
It's gone. Your future.
Because why? Because I say so. And amen to that. Salute to that. But yeah, this is actually, it's a really good beer. It's called a Slap and Tickle. And boy, let me tell you, that's my favorite sex position. The slap and tickle.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's so when you do the slap and tickle, it's like a reverse 69, but
69.
It's like a reverse 69. But what you do is like they slap you in the balls and then they tickle you. So while you're throbbing in pain, crying on the floor from getting smacked hard in the balls, you're also getting tickled. So it's like that double sensation, you know. There's probably some weird fetish out there that's like into that shit. But that's what this beer was inspired by.
Do you have to have your balls shaved for this position?
No, they can. Better? They actually prefer that they are hairy as hell. So that way, after they slap it, they just tug on your hair, so it's extra painful.
So it's called the
slap and tickle and tug of the pickle. Am I exactly? So thank you for Brewery X for this slap and tickle my pickle beer. But anywho, moving on. What an eventful week, man. A lot of things have happened.
Yeah.
They're thinking about reopening California. Well, specifically Disneyland.
No, I think they're just rumors of fans and optimistics that do want to reopen, but there has not been word from actual corporate.
Yeah.
And I don't think they should reopen at all.
Honestly, yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea. Like, I understand people need to work, but, like, this is purely based on the fact that they're not selling, like, Mickey ears. So, they're losing, like, a lot of merchandising revenue, which is, like, where they make all their money from. But it's just so funny that, like, Disney fans, no matter how, like, woke they claim to be or, like, how conscious about society they think they are, like, they're willing to risk the life of the average Disney worker so they can go buy their, like, expensive churro and wait 3 hours to get on the Little Mermaid ride. You know, like, it's just like, damn. Like, Disney fans are a whole other animal of people, dude. Like, they are truly an interesting species of human.
Yeah, I think some are, because I do consider myself a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not... And to that, I'm not to that extent where I want them to reopen no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to die in Disneyland because of COVID or anything. So
yeah, imagine being like the poor like churro cart guy, just like wheezing away, coughing out. You have like a collapsed lung from like COVID-19, and like some fucking overweight like 43-year-old woman named like Susie is like, yeah, well, can I get three of the Fruity Loop churros? And you're just like, right away, ma'am, like trying not to break character.
Why did Susie sound like Mickey Mouse?
Because she's that much of a Disney fan.
I guess so.
She's that big of a Disney fan. She tries to sound like Mickey Mouse. She's like, yeah, can I get like three of the cinnamon churros? And then like the churro guy is just like, right away, ma'am, I'll get you through. Like as he's coughing up a lung, just collapses over and doesn't move, and it's like he's dead. So they just carry him off and put another person there who's halfway dying.
And then like, she complains.
And then she complains that she's waited. Yeah, that the churro's a little stale. Like she's like, you know, it's like there wasn't enough powdered sugar on this churro. You know, like so she wants her money back. She's arguing with the half dying churro guy. Like
it's funny because it's really accurate how you describe the Disney fan, and that's how they are. That's
honestly I've seen it from like the few times I've been to like Disneyland, downtown Disney, like, honestly, like, I'm not even, like, a Disney person, like, at all. Like, I could care less. I mean, it's fun to go, I guess, but, like, am I gonna pay that much money for, like, an annual pass or, like, a ticket? Like, no. You know, like...
See, yeah, it's the annual pass holders
yes. Those are...
everything. The experience for other guests and the experience for the workers.
Yeah. I remember this one time when, I was at Disney, like, I saw a freak out on, like, what's that one ride where it's, like, cars and it's, like, Luigi's, like
Luigi's tires?
Yeah, like, Luigi's tires. Like, this lady freaked out because, like, she couldn't get the proper color car she wanted, and she wanted them to kick someone out of the car. So then that way, like, she can get the car, and, like, it was just so funny because, did she get like, the car? No, I don't think she got the car she wanted because she's just like, well, I was just getting the orange car, I guess. You know, like, she's just, like, settled. But it's, like, full-on Mickey ears, like, definitely looked like she was in, like, her mid-40s, you know, like, just the exact person you would think, like, those, like, hardcore, just out of touch with reality Disney fans are. And it's just, like, that's, like, where they make their money from. Dude, it's just, like, people like that who just want to buy Mickey ears, and like influencers too, I guess, because like that's like a big thing for them is like spending $300 on like Disney tickets and merchandise just to be able to take like selfies next to the fucking Ferris wheel and shit, and like the castle because it like gets likes, and it's like, I guess, you know, like. But yeah, Disney fans are something else, man. Like, they have no concern for the well-being of society, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, so I guess let people enjoy things.
According to you, or when do you think Disneyland should reopen? Or when do you think California should start reopening places like that? Like
honestly,
Six Flags and Knott's Berry Farm.
My initial thought was like, you gotta wait like a couple years. You gotta wait until there's a vaccine. So
you're saying to keep the theme parks closed
I used to say that. I used to think that like the safest route was to keep it closed for a couple years. Like, you know, fucking wait till there's at least a vaccine, you know, wait until like fucking there's been a couple trials with the vaccine, because you don't just want to take the first one off the bat. Maybe it's faulty, you know, like wait until cases and deaths start going down significantly by like half. But honestly, like, I don't think any of that matters anymore, because like the damage is done and it's only going to get worse. It's going to be like honestly, after November, I don't think you're even going to really hear too much about like COVID.
So that like, means I'm gonna be able to celebrate my birthday.
Maybe. Honestly, yeah. Like, it's gonna be one of those situations. Like I said, it's like nothing's gonna get better. Like, people are gonna keep dying. Like, cases are still gonna be up. There's gonna be like plenty of people just getting sick, and like you just won't hear about it because like Trump's not gonna win this election. If he pulls off some stupid fucking miracle and manages to get reelected, unfortunately, like, then I don't know. But like Biden pretty much has his shit in the bag. Like, all he has to do is just not fuck up, you know? Like, even if he fucks up, like, everyone's pretty much like, I'll probably still vote. Like, everyone's pretty much like, yeah, they'll still vote for him, you know? Cause it's like, whatever, you know? It's like that video that was on Twitter recently where it's like that lady that looks like one of the bees from like the Bee Movie, and she's like, I don't like the two-party system, but the alternative to voting for Biden is a fucking fascist. As if, like, at this point, there's some kind of discernible difference between both. Like, as if, like, they aren't both serving the same mechanism that, like, makes people's lives miserable. But it's just, like, who cares, man? Like, at this point, it's, like, who cares? Like, just, if you want to vote for Biden, just fucking vote for Biden. It's, like, because you're not, I mean, things are gonna, like, optics-wise are gonna look better. Oh, the dogs are howling because there's a fucking ambulance. God
damn, I thought that was something else. I thought that was like Llorona or something, dude. I got scared for a second.
That's like a raspy voice Llorona. That's like the Llorona that smokes like 3 packs of Marlboros a day, you know? It's a COVID Llorona. She's like, mis hijos. Ay, mis hijos. Dude, just coughing out a fucking lung.
That shit actually got me a little creeped out, dude. I don't know if it's the beer or something, but
it's probably the tickle, the slap and tickle. You know, it's slap and tickling your balls right now. That's probably why you're scared. You know.
That was actually pretty cool, though. I kind of wish it was actually the Llorona. Or
I wish it was COVID Llorona. COVID Llorona that still smokes like 3 packs of like Marlboro Reds, like the Cowboy Killers a day. So she's like, mis hijos. Just fucking like opens another fresh pack of like fucking Camel Cools. Just like starts chain smoking away and reminiscing about her life, about how like, man, back in my day, shit was hard, man, you know. While she complains about her kids that she doesn't visit.
So now that somehow we landed in this paranormal topic, do you believe in ghosts? Do I
believe in ghosts?
Do you think there could be a Llorona out there walking around? Maybe not here, but maybe
honestly, I feel like
Mexico or something.
No, I feel like every time someone thinks it's like a ghost or or like a demon or like a llorona or something, it's just a crackhead like yelling at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's actually more scary.
Because I remember when I used to live off campus, and like right there, like where we lived, there was like the fucking the Circle K, and like sometimes like I'd crash on the couch. And, like, the window's, like, right next to, like, that, like, where the, like, facing the Circle K. So, like, I would always hear, like, a crackhead, like, just yelling, like, every night at, like, 3 a.m., like, about how, like, they need, like, fucking another cigarette. Just, like, God fucking damn it! Making, like, weird screech noises.
Was it the same one?
Probably.
Did you ever give him the cigarette?
No, I mean, I didn't really smoke cigarettes. Like, I would only have a cigarette when I was, like, drunk.
You should have just bought cigarettes, and every time you heard him...
Honestly, I would have been like, look, this gets you to shut the fuck up, just go. Just, like, toss them a Camel Cool.
Here's your fucking cigarette.
Yeah, here's your fucking cigarette. Like, it's a crush, it's menthol. Just leave me alone. I'm trying to go to bed, But, yeah. Do you know what the funniest part was? Like, the owners of those shops, like, we would always go buy beer there. So, like, they knew who we were. And, like, every time we'd buy beer, like, they try to upsell us, like, the little, like, buzzball shots. And, like, I would always buy them because by the time I go buy beer, like, I'm already really drunk from, like, whatever the fuck we pre-gamed over there. And, like, I got really used to drinking, like, buzzballs and, like, the little $1 shots. And I was like, that's probably why my liver's such shit nowadays. Like, you get, like, when you're in college, you get used to drinking so, like, just shit liquor. Because, like, you're broke, you're stressed, and you're just, like... What can kill me faster?
I don't think so. I think that was high school with Four Locos and
you see, it starts in high school.
MD 2020s,
it starts in high school. But like when you get to like college, like what do people drink? Like do people still drink Four Locos?
I upgraded. I think I upgraded.
You upgraded to Coors Banquet.
Yeah, to Pabst.
To Pabst Blue Ribbon, which is like the bare minimum of an upgrade. But, like, it goes back to what I'm saying, like, cheap liquor. Even, like, when you used to go to, like, college nights, it was also still fucking, like, the fucking, like, dollar beer specials were, like, some fucking, like, malt liquor, like, amber ale shit. Like,
but
Paps.
It got the job done.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not complaining that, like, I got to drink cheap liquor. I'm just saying, like, there was definitely damage done after the fact.
No, definitely. I mean,
my liver has not been the same since I've binge drank, like, buzzballs, like.
I think that's probably why I get like back acid here and there.
Oh yeah, dude, I used to never get acid reflux. Now like I have like a couple beers and like I just feel it and I'm like pinches aguras.
Hey, but it was all worth it.
Honestly, yes, it was because at the end of the day, like I remember half of it because I was shit faced half the time. So good times, man, good times. But yeah, dude, going back to the paranormal talk, like I feel like every time someone says it's like a demon or something, it's probably just a crackhead, like just outside fucking yelling about their hijos that honestly they just imagined while they hit the pookie. It's like
I mean
never existed.
I wish it was because I don't think I believe in ghosts or anything, and I wish I did just because it sounds cool to see
it honestly
a ghost
does,
or
dude.
something.
Yeah,
I would like I've been wanting to play the Ouija board, so maybe if you're down one day we could just set up the Ouija board and do this podcast or something like that.
Have I ever told you my my Ouija board story?
Maybe.
But I mean, I'd retell it for like the pod and like yeah, you know what? Okay, so when I was in high school, like
oh wait, I think
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm still gonna tell it for the pod though. Yeah. So when I was in high school, there was like this like white girl I had a big crush on, and like I would like talk to her here and there, but I would never
had a crush
like
on her?
Yeah, but I would like never make like a move. But I was kind of like whatever, it's whatever, But
you never slapped her or tickled her?
I've never slapped and tickled her. Like this beard tells me I should have, but no. But yeah, so like I had a crush on her, but like I would never like I just didn't have like I felt like she didn't feel the same way, so I was like it's never gonna happen. So like whatever, like it's cool. But we had the same English class. And then one day her and like two of her friends just go up to me and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, dude, it's like fucking 10 in the morning. Why are you asking me if I'm okay? And they're like, we just want to know, like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, what do you mean by that? And they're like, we just want to make sure you're fine. And I'm just like, I'm fine. Like, what do you guys mean by this? So they're like, okay, if we tell you something, will you not get mad? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, why don't you tell me what it is? So they were like, well, last night we played the Ouija board and we asked it a question and your name popped up. And I was like, what did you guys ask the Ouija board? And they were like, we don't remember. And I was like, this was last night. How do you not remember? And they were just like, oh, well, you know, we don't remember. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, well, first of all, how does my name pop up? Like I know you, but I barely know, like, your friends. Like, what the fuck? Like, why is my name popping up? So, fast forward to, like, my sophomore year in college. One of the girls, like, hits me up out of nowhere and she wants to hang out. And I was like, oh.
I don't think I knew this part.
Oh, yeah, no. This part I haven't told. Just because, like, I don't think I ever got to this part. But she, like, hit me up out of nowhere. Like, to hang out. I guess she wanted to go on a date. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I hung out with her. And, like, as I was hanging out with her, like, that occurrence popped in my head. I'm like, you know what, dude? Like, let me ask. And I was like, hey, like, this is going to sound weird, but can I ask you a question? She's like, what's up? And I was like, so I told her, like, this is what happened. Like, and I just want to know, like, why did my name pop up? And she was like, oh, yeah, I think I remember. Yeah, I actually do remember that. And I was like, so what'd you guys ask the Ouija board? And she was like, I don't remember what we asked. And I was like, well, what the fuck?
So you never found out?
I've never gotten an answer. Like, I've never gotten an answer after, like, years of, like, this happening. Like, I don't know what was asked. I don't know what I'm supposed to be expecting, like, to happen to me. But I think I mean, I'm not even a believer in that shit, but it's still kind of like, it's in the back of your head.
You owe it to yourself, to myself, and to the fans.
Yeah.
I don't know how many fans we have.
I'm gonna hit her up. I mean, I think she's married, but like, I'm just gonna be like, can you just tell me? Yeah. Like, I know you have a husband. Can you just fucking tell me what the Ouija board said?
You're going to have to text her before our next episode.
I'm gonna be like, hey,
so on the next one you clarify what happened.
I'm gonna be like, sorry I ghosted you, but like, can you
ghosted her?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, sorry I ghosted you, but can you just tell me what the Ouija board said? Like, I want to know if, like, I should be expecting something.
Wait, how about the other one? Is the other one married? Can you just hit the other one?
I think one of them isn't actually. Oh crap! You know what? I'm gonna text the one that isn't. I mean, I don't have her number. Like, I had her on Facebook, but I don't.
Kill two birds with one stone. You ask her what happened, and then you can go on a date with her.
Exactly. I'm gonna be like, damn, that's crazy. So the Ouija board said that. Fuck, that sucks. Anyways, what are you doing? What'd you do? I'll be like, trying to hang out this weekend. Yeah, dude. Fuck it. Honestly, I'm down, dude. I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, dude, that's like my supernatural Ouija boards. I think that's why, like, I've always had an interest in the supernatural. Like, I've always liked, like, scary movies, like horror movies. Like, I've always loved them. Like, but it's like, as far as, like, believing that stuff, it's never been convincing to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's never been something that I've been like, I'm going to be invested in this. Because, like, I know people who are, like, absolutely invested in, like, trying to find out what happens in life after death. Like, trying to communicate with ghosts and the afterlife. And I'm just like, what are you doing? You know, like, who cares? Like, but it's like, all right, you know, like, people got their interest. But I don't know, dude, to me, that's a hard sell. But it's just, like, ever since that happened to me, like, there's always been that little thing in the back of my head, like, why did my name pop up? You know, like, is there something that's, like, in the cards for me I should know about? Because, like, the fact that they didn't want to tell me is, like, the thing that, like, irks me. You know, it's like, why do you not want to tell me why my name popped up?
I mean,
like,
you're still alive. You're.
But what if it's something else? Like, what if, like, I'm supposed to get... what if I'm supposed to be, like, president or some stupid shit? Like, you know, like, President Osama, you know, like, what if I'm supposed to be president and, like, I don't know, like, and I don't end up becoming president when I could have fucking lived my potential and ruled the fucking world, you know?
Or what if they predicted that you were gonna do a podcast?
That's what I was thinking.
With your handsome ass.
Exactly. What if right now they're having, like, telepathic, like, communication, being like, it's happening, it's finally fucking happening, and it's just me sitting here like, in this weird slouch position because it's the only way I feel comfortable talking in the mic. And it's like, yep, this is exactly what they were talking about. You know, me sipping a slap and tickle my pickle and fucking talking about Disneyland. You know, like, maybe this is what they were predicting. Who knows? But yeah. So to answer your question, like, there's like a little interest in the supernatural, but do I believe in it? Not really, dude. If I'm being honest.
I don't either, although I do want to, and I'm open to change my mind. You know, so I'm hoping I hear something. I'm calling to all the ghosts if they do exist.
Yes.
Please
to all the ghosts that are listening.
To me that you're real.
Yes. Donate to this podcast. Give us money so we can keep this shit going. So I can find out what the fuck my name popped up on the Ouija board for.
Or give us money so we can buy the Ouija board.
Yes.
And maybe we can record ourselves playing the Ouija board.
Yes.
And this could go beyond the podcast.
Only if you're a rich ghost. Like if you got old money. Like if you're the ghost of like the Winchester Mansion, like fucking.
Did you watch that movie?
My sister did, and like I was watching it a little bit, and I was like, this movie's okay. Like it's like kind of sucked. But I was like, whatever. I mean, but like the whole story behind it is cool.
See, because prior to that movie, I did not know anything about.
You know about the Winchester house and like how it's all fucking trap doors and shit.
That was the first time of me hearing it, and isn't it in like
San Jose? I think, right?
Yeah. It's not like too far.
NorCal.
Like it's
definitely
in the same
NorCal.
state that we live in. So I definitely that could be a cool thing to do. Once COVID is over, we can have like a trip up.
Dude, I'm so down to go to the Winchester house and just be like, can you give me money for my podcast so I can find out what the fuck was said on the Ouija board? Yeah, I'll be like, so when I was a sophomore in high school, like, can you just tell me what the fuck they said to the Ouija board to make my name pop up? It's just bothering me. But I'm down, dude. I'm down to go to the Winchester house and ask about that. Let's go to the Amityville Horror House.
Where's that?
What the fuck is Amityville?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's in the U.S., but
it is in the U.S., but it's like the Midwest. Is it?
That's a good
question. The Midwest Amityville house. Yeah, I mean, I don't fucking know where it is. I mean, there's definitely like supernatural spots nearby here in Southern California. Like, there's Black Star Canyon.
Yeah, I've been there. Not at night though.
I want to go at night so I can be like, hey, demons, so this Ouija board thing, like, I just want to know like what was said. You know, I just want to go ask the fucking satanic cult that lives up there.
Is that gonna be your search throughout your life?
Yes, my life's mission has been based on like what the fuck these like 3 white girls asked the fucking Ouija board. Have my name popped up.
You have shaped your life and you have followed this goal.
I have shaped all my goals and paths over wondering what these 3 white girls asked the Ouija board. Like, it's the thing that has been tormenting my entire existence ever since. Is trying to find out what the fuck the fucking Ouija board said about me.
You're not gonna be satisfied with the answer.
I'm not. It's probably gonna be something like fucking like stupid. But like honestly, like I just want to know, dude. Like it's not so much what the answer is. It's like it's the whole self-realization aspect of it, you know.
Or we can play the Ouija board and ask it what.
Dude, honestly, I'm down. I'm gonna be like, look. I'm gonna be like, look, Ouija board. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like the only reason I'm here is like I want to know what the fuck was said by these 3 white women. Like, can you just tell them why my name popped up? Were they trying to have me deported? Were they trying to call ICE on me because I'm a little too brown to be in that classroom? Like, you know, I just want to know. Like, were they trying to have me spiritually deported back to fucking spiritual Mexico? You know, like, I just want to know why my name popped up. Because, like, it's been tormenting me ever since.
Well, we'll just have to figure it out.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to the crackhead Llorona and be like, hey, yo, so about that Ouija board story. You know? But yeah, supernatural shit, man. That's cool. On the topic of supernatural shit in movies, the theaters are opening back up. The theaters.
When?
Well, in some states, theaters are open. Like the homie that lives in Arizona, he was at a theater.
What? Didn't Texas open up like in the middle of June? Yeah,
Texas doesn't give a fuck.
So have their theaters been open since June?
I think so. I know AMC had that thing like a couple weeks ago where they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do movies for like 50 cents." What was it like? They were like, "We're doing a 1930s prices," and it's like It's like, yeah, in 1930s, I wouldn't have been allowed inside the theater, you know? Like, at least keep it authentic and have me beaten and kicked out, you know? Like, for being a little too far up in the melanin scale, you know? But, yeah, they were having, like, a special.
Didn't like, AMC almost go bankrupt?
A lot of those fucking theaters almost went bankrupt. Because, like, they don't have other ways of really making money. Like, AMC doesn't own any streaming services because, like, they don't have the revenue to even fucking start one. Like, Netflix already fucking hit the jackpot on that shit. So did Hulu and everything. And, like, I mean, everything's exclusive content, too. So, like, all these big, like, movies just want to find out who's willing to pay the most to have them on their platform. So, like, honestly, all these theaters are fucked if they don't, like, find a way to make money. That's probably why they're willing to, like, just, like, sell their tickets for, like, no money. Because, like, they make most of their money anyways off selling, like, the food, like, concession shit.
Really?
Yeah. That's why they're so...
I hardly ever buy anything.
Exactly, but that's why they're so strict about you can't bring anything in there. Because that's how they make all their money. It's kind of like how, like, for example, Disneyland makes most of their money off merchandising. Fucking AMC makes most of their money off selling, like, $30 buckets of popcorn, you know? Like,
is that why the beer is so expensive then?
Yeah, dude, I bought a drink there once. It was like $12 and it was like an 805. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I should have just snuck a tall can in for like $4.
I mean, my drunk is still gonna pay the price, but you know, it's a little overpriced.
I'm definitely the king of sneaking in tall cans into the theater. It's just a matter of, like, now they're being, like, savvy about it. Like, they have an usher every once in a while, like, walk in the theater to make sure no one's, like, consuming anything that wasn't bought in there.
See, what my dad used to do is he would, I would go to the AMC at the block.
Yeah.
And at the block,
you were probably one of those little shuffler kids outside.
No,
that was you.
But what my dad would do,
you were like, soy el Giggles del crew XX33 super shuffler crew. With your little raccoon tail and snake bites.
I did have purple skinny jeans. And
I bet you fucking with the little shoelace like belt.
Yeah, but
and the Bulls hat.
Anyway,
yes, hell
but
yeah.
But what my dad used to do,
young shuffler Giggles.
Listen to me, culero.
I'm sorry, dude. The image of you just shuffling outside with a fucking Carl's Jr. with your little raccoon tail is so
I didn't
funny.
shuffle at the block. I would shuffle by my house. Not at the park near my house. Why would I go all the way to the block to shuffle? Oh man,
that's so... Because the block was the place to go shuffle, dude. Like,
I couldn't...
That's honestly that was the last real subculture. Was the shuffler kids.
I couldn't really stay there past 10. You know, so I couldn't shuffle past 10. Like, the best shuffling moves come out past 10.
No, I mean, they were there, dude. I mean, a lot of these kids, like, they didn't give a fuck. Their parents were probably too busy, like, just fucking, like, I gotta wake up early. Like, you know, my mijo will come home. It's whatever.
Yeah, the block was an interesting place.
Yeah, that it was. But anyway, okay, back to your story.
So, what my dad would do is, he would say whenever there's the van store.
Yeah.
And whenever,
yes.
Whenever we'd buy vans,
yeah,
he would save the box. So whenever we'd go to the movies, he would put a lot of popcorn in a bag and then stuff it in the box.
Like the microwave popcorn? Like the microwave one?
No. He'd actually make he would buy like the little kettles.
Oh, like, so he had like a popcorn machine.
Like, not a machine. Like, he would get like an olla and then just like wiggle around the popcorn until they pop.
Hell yeah!
Like, they were authentic, awesome. You know. So he would stuff it in a bag, and then he would put it in the box of Vans, and then he would also save a bag.
Yeah.
So he would put the box in the bag.
Yeah. Damn, that's funny. But anyways, keep going.
And then whenever we'd go to the movies,
yeah,
he'd walk into the theater with a bag. With a Vans box, and
that's so
the
funny.
Theater people would think it's he just bought a pair of Vans and now he's coming to the movies, but he would be sneaking in popcorn and candy.
We used to I remember we would, like, because a lot of the times before we'd go watch a movie, like, we would, like, usually go around the shops and see what we could buy, you know, like, we'd go to, like, Vans and everything. So, like, when we would buy, like, some clothes, we would, like, stuff, like, snacks and shit in there, like. We would always get, like, the pretzels from, like, the pretzel place and just, like, put it in the clothes. So you'd buy a new shirt, but it would come out smelling like pretzels. And, like, we would do that. The funniest one ever, though, and I'm not even joking when I make this up, I had a tia that one time pretended to be pregnant. And she snuck in like 3 things of like microwaved popcorn. Like drinks, sodas, candies, like... Cause she legit like put on like a pullover with like and just pretended to be pregnant, dude.
I wonder what would happen if one of us just shows up pretending to be pregnant.
Dude, I imagine Giggles toda Marvan todo be like, I'm expecting, I'm 6 months in, and I'm just hugging you from the back. I'm like, we're so happy, we're starting a family.
Dude, you know that would be hilarious. That would be a hilarious video.
I like kiss you in the back of the neck. I'm like, you ready to go see Zookeeper 2, sweetie? Like, yes, babe.
I'm dropping like a bag of M&Ms.
A thing of Starburst, like a thing of Sour Patch Kids falls out, and you're like, that was the babies. Like, it fell out of my vagina. I was feeding him Sour Patch Kids.
You know, I feel like...
And I'm just like, don't touch my kids' I feel like fucking the workers candy.
The workers would just be like, they don't pay me enough, just...
Yeah, no, dude, honestly, yeah, the opposed to be like, just go watch your fucking movie, dude. Like, I'd be like, okay, sweetie, let's go watch fucking...
No, we don't break...
Let's go watch the new Batman movie. Dude, hell, I'm so down to do that. Let's just fucking do that.
We don't break character. Oh, man.
Just honestly, continue. I'm down, dude. Just try to sneak in fucking, like, Dude, like, I remember we used to sneak in tall cans. And stuff. We used to sneak in like tall cans. We snuck in like a whole bottle of fucking vodka one time. Like, it's not hard, dude. Like, cause they can't like pat you down. You know, like they're not allowed to. They just
sneaking in alcohol into like places that you're not allowed to. Is just the funnest thing ever,
dude. It is like like I remember like I used to have an annual pass for like Six Flags, and like me and my cousins like we would go. And, like, we would sneak in, like, little stuff here and there. Then sometimes I would even go with, like, my friends from school. I remember for, like, senior year, like, we snuck in a lot of edibles. And, like, we were... Damn, dude. Like, we were on a good one. Yeah, we would get really, like, drunk or just really high before going to fucking Six Flags. And we would even sneak it in because, like, they pat you down. But, like, the trick is just put everything in your fucking wallet. Like, they can't go through your wallet, you know?
One time I went to Six Flags and one of my friends... forgot that she had her wax pen in her purse and went inside, and we found out that she had snuck in her wax pen without her knowing, like mid through the day. So we just smoked.
That's so awesome, dude.
It was really fun. It was really, really fun.
Dude, honestly, like the smaller like wax pen stuff gets, like little like cartridges, like it's gonna be awesome. You can just sneak them in like anywhere at this point. You know, you could just be like, oh, it's my e-cigarette. You know, and they'll be like, whatever, I don't care. Like, I don't care enough to Google what an e-cigarette
just give me a
like.
hit and then I'll...
Exactly, it'll be like, look, they don't pay me enough to Google. Like, just fucking give me a hit and just go on with your day. And it's like, okay, bye. Like, seriously.
In Amsterdam, actually, I was walking around with a joint in my hand.
Hell yeah.
And this shop owner called me over and said, hey, if you give me a hit, I'll give you 2 beers. You know, so I just... lit it up, I gave him a hit, and I got 2 free beers, and I kept the rest of the
See, like, that's why Amsterdam's on my bucket list. Like, I want to go to Amsterdam just so I can do, like, every fucking drug in the world, dude.
Amsterdam is fun.
Yeah. I want to do, like, shrooms. I want to do those weird, like, truffle shrooms they have. Like, they got, like, good psychedelics there and shit, and then weed. I mean, the weed here is better than anything in fucking Amsterdam. But, you know, it's...
Dude.
No, I know, yes. Well, from what I've heard, I mean, I've never been. From what I've heard, I mean... It's good, but it's just the fact that, like, you're in Amsterdam, you know? It's like...
fucked me up,
I heard people in Europe pay big money to get the stuff from here over there.
I don't know, man. That shit fucked me up.
Well, but you're not, like, an avid, like... I mean, well, maybe actually at the time, I think you were.
Back then, I think I was.
But... oh, shit. But you know what it is? It's a combination of, like... Just you're in Amsterdam, you know? Yeah, you're in a different country.
I remember I was at the bar, and you can take... your joints and your blunts everywhere. Like, you can be in the bar and be smoking, and we were in the bar, and I literally stayed sitting down for 2 hours. It honestly put me on like a trance. Like, I could not move.
I feel it, dude. I want to do psychedelics over there. That sounds like a good ass time. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make that a goal by like next year. To make a podcast episode over there just on full shrooms and ayahuasca. Just like,
give us money so we can
DMT, baby.
And travel to Amsterdam.
Yeah, please. Donate to the Patreon that I plan on making in the future, so I can get high off psychedelics and DMT in fucking Amsterdam.
Dude, because that would be really dope. Like, we can go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Then get like our hotel room.
Hell yeah.
Get really fucked up on shrooms and weed and everything, and then go to the room and do an episode of this podcast.
Dude, hell yeah.
So, you know,
while we get like kidnapped by like those people in like the movie Hostel, and as we're recording the podcast, we're being repeatedly tortured. So yeah, I'm here in some random hostel in fucking Amsterdam.
Yeah, whatever gets us listeners.
Exactly, whatever gets the Patreon money, you know. So give us money to the Patreon that I plan on making in the future. I promise you, it'll go to a good wholesome cause, like me getting fucking plastered off fucking LSD in some Amsterdam fucking bar, cafe. So yeah, honestly, dude, I can't wait. Like, I've never like traveled outside the country if it's not Mexico, and like that's one of my biggest regrets to this day. It's like man, I haven't done it yet, you know. And like I've always wanted to. It's just like it's expensive. Traveling is definitely an expensive hobby, you know. And like,
you know, once you learn how to do it, it really is not that expensive. You just have to find good deals, buy everything ahead of time.
See, like, you know, that's the thing.
Obviously, if you really like traveling, you can't really expect to stay in like 5-star hotels. So you have to just be okay with staying in hostels.
See, that I'm cool with. See,
so then if you're cool with that, it should not be that expensive.
I think my issue is more or less like, I don't want to go to touristy spots. Like, I want to go to like the nitty gritty of like that country, you know, like for example, when like I'd go to Mexico with my family, like we would never go to Cabo, you know, we would never go to like Puerto Vallarta, you know, we would go to like the hoods, like where my family grew up, you know, like we'd go there and like those places were awesome, you know. Like
I feel like anywhere, like for example, if you go to Paris, yeah, there's gonna be tourist spots in Paris, but there's also gonna be those places where they're not, you know, touristy and you know, you could really take in the culture from
exactly from and like that's where I want to go. Like I want to go to like the places where like the people are like they know the culture, not just like, oh, it's a touristy area, you got to put on that fake smile. Like, no, I want to go to a place where they'll disrespect me.
Yeah, I mean, you can
so I can be both. Like, fuck you too, and then just get in a fight and then become best friends with like someone who's from there, you know?
Yeah, then that way, for next time you go, you have somewhere to stay.
Exactly. I'll be like, hey, Jean-Pierre, Luc Givon, like, I know I punched your tooth out, but you got a place to stay? I'm trying to go back to Paris. It's like, hey, yes, come here, and just lets me stay at the fucking hostel. Oui, monsieur. And then, like, we see each other, we hug, we get another fight, like, and we just fucking drink, dude. Like, that's honestly the goal. Like, I want to know, like, the nitty-gritty of the places. Because I don't like touristy places. I think touristy places are very fake.
I mean, some are really cool. Like
no, I'm pretty sure they are.
Tower.
Yeah, no, of course. Like, there's obviously landmarks. But, like, I don't like a tour-guided experience. Like, obviously you want someone who knows where to go. But, like, I don't want, like, a fixed experience. Like, I want to be able to experience, like, a place. You know? Like, you get to know its ins and outs. Like, it's good, the bad, and the ugly. You know? And, like, that's the thing I want to, like, experience when I do end up traveling, like, more than I can, like, now, you know? And, like, that's really what I want to do. Because even to this day, like, with, like, I feel like the thing I've been doing a lot more recently is, like, in the past couple years, I've been traveling a lot of just California in general, you know? And, like, I've gotten to know, like, a lot of, like, cool places in California that aren't exactly, like, touristy areas, you know? But it's because, like, it's the people that make up that place. And I think that's what, like, I want to experience, you know? Like, starting with California, but obviously spreading out to, like, different countries, you know, like, different states, like, different continents, and, like, I think that'd be cool, you know?
See, and I think that's why I do not want to have a 9-to-5 job, just because it limits you as to how many days you can
exactly, dude, like, this is why our goal is to get rich off this podcast, so I never have to have a fucking 9-to-5 job again where I can't just fucking pick up my stuff and be like, you know what, I want to take a trip to fucking Antarctica, you know,
no
like,
matter how long, you know, like, you just be there for 3 months.
Exactly. So give us money so I never have to work a job ever again. Because as a working class person, besides protecting working class people, I also never want to have to fucking work ever again. Like, I want to see the world.
Yeah, man, working's lame.
Yeah, working's lame, dude. Like,
it's for losers.
Such a fucking... I wouldn't say it's for losers, because, like, at the end of the day, like, people have to work regardless, but it's, like, it's such a scam, dude. Like working is a scam because it sucks. It's like no one wants to have to work, but it's like you have to at the end of the day because like that's just the way the system's set up, you know. And it's like you do what you got to do. That's why, like, you know, with working class people, you know, like I come from a working class family. Like it's always been about work, you know. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, you know what the virtue is when it comes to work. You know, that's why, like, you stand up for things like union labor. You stand up for things like understanding workers' rights and working class, like, ownership of, like, the fruits of their labor, you know? And by that same token, it's like, damn, dude, like, things haven't exactly, like, they've gotten, you know, like, obviously, like, workers are more aware, but, like, shit hasn't gotten better, dude. Like, corporate jobs fucking suck. Like, they just try to get you to fucking stick in a position for as long as possible, like, limiting your freedom so you take time out of, like, valuable time from your life to make someone else money while you get, like, the scraps of it. Like, it's such bullshit, dude. Like, it really is. Like, it's such bullshit, and, like, you're thrown in this trap, and, like, you're promised some kind of, like, progress and growth, like, you're part of some dream, but at the end of the day, like, they remind you you're disposable. And it's like, fuck you. You know, at the end of the day, like, it's like...
It is a very crappy feeling.
It is, man. Like, it's like... And it's like, as you get older, you, like, think to yourself, like, is this what I was working towards? Like, you know, like, especially, like, when you're, like, Latino, you know, you grow up, like, Latino and Hispanic, like, your thing's always, like, work, you know, like, work hard so you can fucking grow up and be a hard worker and, you know, make it somewhere. Even with an education, like, you're still put, like, that you work hard with that education. And it's, like, you realize, like, the way the system's set up, like, it's set up to fucking exploit any kind of labor you have. Because as Latinos, like, we have this very, like, tunnel vision mentality of, like, work is everything, you know? Education and work is everything, but we fail to realize that, like, the way the system's set up, like, if you're a working person, like, it's meant to exploit you. And for some reason, like, we're very stuck in this tunnel vision mentality, so we have this idea of, like, well, we'll just work harder. And it's like, no, you'll just get exploited harder. Like, you need to stand up against it. You need to, like, resist. You know, like, that's the only answer is to resist. And it's like, that's the way you have to approach things. But, like, even in the way the system's set up, like, it's hard to resist because, like, you're thrown in a position where, like, people don't want to resist because there's, like, my livelihood's at stake. My pay is at stake. And it's like, there's a lot I can lose for resisting. And it's like, damn, dude, like, we're really put in a fucked position as, like, working class people, as, like, Latinos, you know, people of color. It's like, damn, dude, like, they really don't want to see us move up. It's like, they really want to just stick us as the help, and it's fucked up.
We're really fucked from the start.
It honestly is, dude, and, like, maybe really I'm thinking about this.
To realize how fucked we are.
No, and yeah, dude, and, like, maybe I'm thinking about this, like, too deeply and, like, fucking, like, looking way too far ahead, but, like, something like this, like a podcast. Like, a podcast, you know, is, like, I'm not saying this is going to make us a lot of money one day, but, like, it's one way of showing of, like, no, like, we found ways to make a living, like, outside of your fucking exploitation of us. You know, like, we found a way to not only make a living, but make a comfortable living, where we have more freedom, where we don't need to be stuck in your system. And, like, of being exploited for your labor, you know, being exploited for, like, being convinced that all you are is work and you just need to fucking work harder, and that's the only reason you're not making more, like, in a bad position because you're not working hard enough, you know? And, like, completely, like, trying to blind you from the reality that the reason that you're probably, like, not in a better position is not because you're not working hard enough, but because they don't want to give you a better quality of life, you know? So stuff like this is, like, kind of a way of showing them, like, fuck you. You know, like, I'm going to find a way to make it around it without being part of some stupid corporate mechanism that's just meant to fucking drag you down and keep you stagnant. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I just went full Marx. I went full fucking socialist right there.
Sounds like you're pissed.
Who wouldn't get pissed at this, you know? Like, it is one of those things where it's like, you do have to stand up at the end of the day and be like, this is some fucking bullshit, you know?
And that's the thing. It's not that easy to
It's not. It's not. You know? It takes a lot of, like, just kind of looking and reflecting on shit, which is hard for people to do, you know? Like, it's hard. It's definitely hard for me to do, to look back and be like, damn, dude, like, why did I put up with this? You know, like, why did I put up with a lot of this shit? Like, I didn't have to, but...
And it sucks to think that, you know, our parents, our grandparents had to put up with all this shit.
And I think that's the part where it becomes more emotional. Talking on that is when you realize, like, your loved ones are the ones that get, like, exploited more than anyone else because, like, they have no other choice. You know, they're like, I need to provide for the people I care about. And, like, the way the corporate fucking mechanism works is, like, they use that against you. Like, they get that and they're like, you know, these are the people that we can permanently exploit. The people that need to provide for their loved ones. The people that have something to lose. Like, we'll dangle that livelihood above their heads and be like, if you want this, you will be complacent, compliant, conforming, and listen. And do exactly as we tell you. Like, that's the part that's fucked. When you realize it's your loved ones who are put through that. And you're just like, you want to do something about it. You know? And, like, it's hard because it's like, you do think to yourself, like, what the fuck can I do about it? You know? So maybe, I don't know, dude. Maybe, like, I'm thinking about this too fucking politically. But maybe this could be a gateway.
Think so. I think it makes sense.
It does, dude. Because maybe, like, this could be a gateway to be able to fucking stand up against that. You know, like something as dumb as me talking about fucking slap and tickle my pickle beer could be a way to be like, you know what, fuck you, corporate America. Like, I'm gonna find a way to make a living and a comfortable living without having you fucking dangle my livelihood above my head. You know, like, because at the end of the day, like, I feel like that's like, we, like, as millennials, like, without tooting our own horn, like, we're an interesting generation because we found a way to be able to, like, accumulate wealth and make money without having to be part of this, like, big corporate mechanism with, like, and one of the biggest outlets is, like, independent entertainment. You know, it is getting a little harder because, like, it is harder to be independent entertainment because, like, a lot of entertainment has been thrown in the financial system and, like, the corporate market. But at the end of the day, like, we still found a way to do it. You know, without having to have, like, to be in massive debt to be in part of some kind of fucking, like, to have some sort of form of success. And I think, like, it speaks a lot, dude. It goes a lot with our upbringings. And, you know, and I think, honestly, I think that's why I wanted to do this, you know, to even fucking begin with. Is, like, the whole idea of, like, you know what, it's just showing them, like, fuck you. You know, like, we don't need you. You know, like, we're smart enough, we're educated enough, and we've been through enough to understand that we can do this without having to throw ourselves in your system that's nothing but a way to control us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was deep and beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I drink a couple beers and I turn into fucking Karl Marx and Che Guevara, bro. You know what I mean? But fuck it, dude. So if you want to make my socialist dream a reality, send me money and donate to the future Patreon that we will be making for the juice. Hopefully we make it soon. I don't fucking know, but maybe I'll stop being lazy and I'll make the fucking Patreon. Juice. But yeah. But anywho, it's been an interesting week, man.
It really has.
Yeah.
It really has.
It really has, dude. All the fires too. The air quality's been fucking terrible.
You know, I'm still pissed off at the fact that at least one of the fires started because of a gender reveal. Huh?
That's honestly so funny.
It's funny, but it really pisses me off, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like, couldn't you just break a piñata? Couldn't you just cut a cake?
Couldn't you just do the balloon?
Yeah, like...
Why did you need fireworks?
Knowing that you live so close...
Yeah.
Did you have to do something with fire? Like,
in a weird way, it's like poetic justice. It's like, okay, like... whoever started the fucking fire obviously wanted to show off for, like, Instagram, you know. They wanted to probably make a viral TikTok about, like, we had a cool gender reveal involving fireworks. Oh, but guess what, they're illegal in California, and then look what fucking happens. You set a fucking mountain in a whole state on fire.
Like, you know, can you imagine the kid knowing that
their whole existence is based off, like, destroying half the state?
That is terrible.
Damn, dude. And, like, I feel so bad for this kid. Like,
yeah, he should go to jail.
Yeah, honestly, this kid should be born with, like, 7 bench warrants.
Yeah, we didn't finish what
it's like he gets born, immediately gets handcuffed and arrested.
As soon as he's born,
he has a court date. He gets a court date with his birth certificate.
He's born with a certain amount of community service hours.
He has to go do Caltrans because he's like, he has to do, like, the freeway trash pickup on Caltrans because, like, at 5 years old, it's like, look here, buddy, you only have 30 years left. You might as well make the most of them now.
You're paying your parents' mistakes.
Exactly. It's like the sons pay for the sins of their fathers, you know? But yeah, dude. Very interesting stuff.
But yeah, no, it pisses me off just because I know there's like a lot of animals out there dying.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what I've been noticing a lot of too, like especially around here because there's so many fires and stuff. Like there's a lot more roadkill. Like because like opossums, raccoons, and like foxes and shit. Well, like like.
I mean, you live close to some
yeah, well, right here the mountains are like right here in the back.
I don't think that I live close enough to the mountains to see enough roadkill, but
yeah,
I've seen a few by where I live.
There's been plenty of roadkill. Like,
so is that because of the fires? That's
probably like they flee, and like every once in a while you run over a possum, you're like, fuck, sorry,
yeah,
my bad, dude. Like,
if it wasn't the fire, it was over here.
Exactly. If the fire wasn't gonna kill you, my Jeep was. Like it was. You gotta pick your poison at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's like,
whatever,
dude, it's kind of sad. I've never ran over so many woodland critters in my life. Like, poor squirrels.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, these fires suck. And, like, the air quality's been terrible. Like, not only to mention that, like, COVID is still a thing, but, like, the air quality's still out there being really fucking bad. And it's like, what can you do, man?
And then this year's really fucked up.
Yeah. 2020 has been a fucked up year, dude. Like, so many shit. Like, oh, today, Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, the Supreme Court Justice.
I heard.
R.I.P. RBG, And it's like, damn, dude, like, Trump is probably going to put some, like, KKK Grand Dragon now as, like, fucking Supreme Court Justice. And it's like, fuck, dude, like, that's bad. Because, like, these are the people that like, decide constitutional cases,
So, assuming that Trump's not going to get reelected, how much damage can he make in the next 2 months before he gets kicked out?
Well, now that RBG is dead, dude, like, fuck, man. Like, if he puts, like, okay, because the Supreme Court is already the majority, like, conservative. So if he puts another, like, very right-wing, far out there conservative judge, like, it's bad, dude. Like, that has so many... They already tried to fucking repeal Roe v. Wade, bro. Like, they already tried to fucking repeal... They already tried to repeal, like, women's, like, reproductive rights and try to impose, like, draconian fucking abortion laws, Like, it's bad, bro. Like, if he puts, like, some fucking white Mike Pence fucking mentality, like, white supremacist fucking, like, fascist, like, just wants to fucking, like, just hates fucking women's reproductive rights, like... It's bad, dude. Especially because, like, a lot of Trump's campaign, like, the only thing they're banking on is, like, they're hoping their old voter base still votes for him. And, like, with Biden, that's going to be hard because Biden has that nostalgia aspect to him. So, like, he can definitely win a very big portion of the popular vote. But it's, like, Trump is kind of, like, he's pandering to a lot of these stupid, like, old, like, very draconian, like, conservative ideals. Like, women shouldn't be allowed to have abortions, like, birth control is not a human right, like, stuff that's just very, like, out there, like, just draconian shit. And it's like, if he definitely has the ability to put someone on the Supreme Court like that has that same mentality, and that's gonna be really bad. And
is it hard to get him out?
Yes, because Supreme Court justices don't get voted out. They die.
Until they die?
Yeah, that's why Bader Ginsburg hasn't, she passed away today, so now there's an open seat. Like, once you're in until you croak. And it's like, damn, dude, like, this could potentially be very bad. So I think even Congress, like, an hour after, like, they confirmed she passed away, was like, we're about to vote over who we want to nominate for Supreme Court chair. And it's like, fuck. Like, this is literally an hour after she passed away. So it's like, it's bad, dude. It's bad, man. Like, this can potentially be the most damaging thing he has done up to this day in his campaign. Because, like... Hello. Okay, we're recording again. We're back on. Yes, we're back. We're back.
We're back. Off. Oh, let me get off of Instagram.
Okay. We were having technical difficulties with my virus-ridden laptop.
He watches too much porn.
No, it's not even porn, dude. Like, why would I watch porn on a PC when I have an iPhone? It's like, now it's just I've tried to download a bootleg version of Lightroom, and it's just fucked up my computer ever since. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it'd be more honorable if it was porn that caused, like, my laptop to be... Yeah, I would be more confident saying, like, porn is what caused my laptop to be a piece of shit versus me trying to, like, not pay for software that's not that expensive.
Then just change the story.
Yeah, exactly. Like exactly. Yeah. I wish it was porn that costs. It's like no, it's like some fucking me trying to like not pay for shit. But anywho, yeah, going back to what I was saying, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying could potentially have very serious like consequences. Like if Trump puts like some fucking super right wing conservative person like on the court, like they already tried to fucking repeal Roe v. Wade. Who knows what else they'll try to fucking.
So
repeal.
when you say that Trump is gonna put someone, does that? I thought they had. Well, you just said that they had to be voted
nominated, but Trump, like the president. I'm sorry, like I'm forgetting my poli sci 101 right now, but I think the president has the power to appoint nominees. Like people get nominated and he appoints them. You're right. I don't know. Someone fucking hit me up and correct me. Like I forgot my poli sci 101 that I took back in high school, but it's like yeah, like he can appoint someone at the Supreme Court. So it's like he has a lot of power to do that, and that could potentially be very.
So
bad.
Trump is really gonna fuck over this country until the last minute.
Yes, because he knows that he probably will lose this election, unless like, because at this point, like Biden, people are just gonna be like, "Fuck it, dude. He was the Obama guy. I'm gonna vote for Biden," and like Trump, like no president has ever survived an election during a time of like crisis or pandemic whatsoever. So it's like people are just like, fuck it, I'll vote for whoever. But like as long as they vote for something that's changed, like they'll do it. So if Trump wins, like as much as it sucks, I'm still gonna be like, it is kind of funny that the DNC fucked it up twice in a row. You know, the consequences of Trump on the off chance winning again will suck and it'll be terrible. But the DNC fucking up twice in a row would be like, it's
so if
Jesus
Trump
Christ,
wins,
you know, like,
it's not gonna be by his own means. It's gonna be because somebody elsewhere fucked up.
Yeah, because somehow Biden. The only way I can see Trump losing is if Biden just fucks, because there's gonna be no second stimulus check.
They said
they said there was, but the House voted against the resolution, so I was already planning to buy shit. I was like, damn, okay, whatever.
I had already appointed my money to certain bills.
I know, yeah, dude, me too. But
so
I don't think there's gonna be a second stimulus check, and like it's like, well, what can you do? it's like, you know, whatever. But yeah,
so
dude.
what if Biden wins? Is there gonna be another stimulus?
No, they don't.
So that's
the Democrats don't give a fuck about us. Yeah, it's like at least they're gonna be a little less racist. You know, I guess that's the silver lining in it all. You know, it's like, you know, they're still gonna just care about the free market. You know, keeping insurance companies very powerful, like destroying workers' rights, probably trying to convert every state into a right to work state. You know, like trying to disband unions, like, you know, destroying Social Security, just like Biden tried to do before. But it's like at least they won't be as racist. You know, it's like I guess there's some silver lining in it. And it's like, yeah, nothing really changes. You know,
same shit,
different date. I mean, it's
different air freshener.
Exactly, and it's kind of like, it's weird. Like, there's a whole conversation where people are like, at this point, like, what's the point of like being upset at Biden? You know, like we need to face the reality of things. And it's like, I don't know, dude, like, at this point, like, if people want to vote for Biden, just fucking vote for Biden. Like, just do it, dude. Like, who cares? You know, like, obviously it's better than voting for Trump. Like, I get that. But it's like, to blame people for bringing up the fact that, like, it didn't have to be this way. Like, the way they, like, it is now, it's like, oh, you gotta vote for the lesser of two evils, even though that lesser evil is barely any lesser of an evil. You know, but it's like when people get mad at you for bringing up like, oh, like, but it didn't have to be this way. Like, why is no one mentioning the fact that it didn't have to fucking be this way? Like, they're creating a false dichotomy that it has to be this way. Like, it has to be the lesser of two evils when it didn't have to be this way. You know, like, I'm not saying Bernie was like the end all be all. You know, like, to be honest, in my opinion, like, he wasn't even left enough. Like, he was barely a socialist, you know, and they still called him a socialist for saying, like, hey, everyone deserves Medicare, you know, like, you shouldn't have to fucking ration your insulin because you can't afford it, you know, like, how is that too much socialism? You know, how is that asking for too much? You know, it's like, but the Democrats voted Medicare for all off being on the table, you know? And it's like, it didn't have to be this way, but we're convinced it did have to be this way. And it's like, why is no one talking about that? You know, like, why is no one saying that, like, we got duped from the beginning and this is what we should be preventing, but at this point we're just buying into the fallacy? And it's like, it's dismal, you know? It does make you feel like nothing's really ever gonna change, man. Like, just kind of have to slave away until you get some peace of mind, you know? Like, get drunk with your homies, because it's like, that's as good as it's gonna get, you know? Like,
yeah, that's pretty good to me.
Exactly. Yeah, no, honestly, and like, yeah,
that's
like,
awesome.
I'm not trying to say that to sound dismal, but it's like, where else are you gonna find comfort? You know, like, focus on your hobbies, like the shit you love doing, because it's like, what else can you do? You know, it's like, just do what you love, you know? Like, do shit like this with your friends, with your, like, homies, you know? Like, because it's like,
slap
where else are you gonna
tickle
find
someone,
it? Exactly.
you know?
Slap and drink some slap and tickles and slap and tickle, you know? Because it's like, where else are you gonna find any comfort? You know, like, just do this. And like, that's what you can do at the end of the day, because like, we're bought into the system whether we like it or not.
See, you are very knowledgeable when it comes to politics. Does it not depress you to see how fucked up we are?
I mean, it does. And like, it's very depressing in thinking of like, just like, it's weird because like, this, like, 2020 and 2019, like, there was a very big like push for like, oh, things are gonna finally change, you know? Like,
But they never do.
exactly. And it's like, the rhetoric got hijacked from like, things are gonna change to like, oh, you need to trust the powers that be that we speak up against, you know? It's like, things are only gonna change if we put faith in a system that has failed us time and time again. And it's like, that's where I think we fucked up, you know? Because no one like questions like, yo, there's something wrong with that, you know? Like, this isn't working. To put faith in a system that completely, like, why don't we overhaul the fucking system, you know? It's like, oh, well, that's too daunting of a task. It's like, it's only daunting of a task because that's the way you want it to be, you know? Like, because you're the best interest of the people who don't have to suffer, like, aren't being threatened, you know? That's the only way that, like, that's the only reason why you think the task to overhaul the system is too daunting. And it's like, I think that's what depresses me, because like, even the people who suffer get convinced that that's the truth. You know, like, they're the ones that get convinced that like, oh, like, you know what, they're right. Like, at the end of the day, we need to do what we can. And it's like, you can do more. You know, like, we can do more. But like, why are we buying into this thing that like, we can only do so much? Is it because like, that's what we were sold and we, you know, ate it up? You know, like, it's like, and that's what depresses me, because I feel like that's where we're at again. You know, like, we had that little like high euphoria of like, oh, there's gonna be genuine change, and then like, we get pulled back in very quickly. And like, if you speak up against it and saying like, yo, like, this isn't working, you're now against the change. But the thing is, like, the change has already been like off the table. You know, like, you're not speaking up against the change, you're speaking up for change, but you're put in a thing where like, now there's a false dichotomy of like, one's good and one isn't, you know? Like, the DNC is good, Republicans are bad. And it's like, if you say like, they're actually both working for the same evil, it's like, we need to change that. Like, as soon as you speak that, all of a sudden you're against progress. And it's like, that's depressing that now, like, it's all, at this point, it's just a rhetoric battle, you know? And like, that's what gets depressing. And it's like, it makes you think like, damn, dude, like, at this age, like, especially like now, like, that we're older and stuff, you know, it's like, you kind of like, you're more worried about the way systematic things affect you, because now like, you're in the system like completely. You're no longer a kid, you're an adult, you know? Like, these things are gonna affect you, like, your future. And it's like, damn, dude, like, this shit's gonna suck in like 5 years, like 10 years, you know? It's gonna be harder. And it's like, at this point, like, I feel like as millennials, as like younger people, like, we're faced with a choice, like, either go with the flow or find some way to like not have to be caught in that. And it's like, you could try to look for ways to not be caught in that, but it's very hard to sustain that. And like, it's like, that's the the thing we're faced with nowadays.
Yeah.
You know,
I think this got a little too deep and depressing.
Yeah, no, I had a couple Tickle my pickles, you know, and I'm just definitely going on my little nihilistic political rants, but yeah.
I mean, there has to be some of that in our podcast. You know, that's always cool.
I feel it.
Let's just not get it to.
No, I feel you, and I think the moral of the story is just like, just do shit you want to fucking do, because it's like that's where you're gonna find the comfort, the escape, maybe the growth. You know, it's like. Just do that, you know, like fucking enjoy the fucking life you have, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're here for a short time and we're here to have
exactly.
fun.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
With the end goal of having fun, then why are you doing it?
Exactly. If you're not doing something to enjoy life, what's the point of doing it? You know. So with that being said, y'all should give us money so we can keep making these episodes and fucking doing what we fucking do best, which is having terrible opinions about things. But yeah, we're like an hour 11 minutes into this
already.
Yeah, we've been babbling, dude.
It honestly seemed like 20 minutes.
It did, but that's because we just kept it going.
Yeah, not too bad for
not too shabby.
Second little episode.
Exactly. So thank y'all.
Although you did struggle plugging in the mic, and
you know what? That's fine.
Your computer's poor.
But we got good content. But we got good content. That's what matters at the end.
We delivered.
We stood when we delivered, and we tickled our pickle. It slapped and tickled. Hopefully by the next episode we have our third co-host set up and ready to go.
Hopefully, if he does not lag it one more.
Exactly. Week, hopefully, if he gets his fucking shit together,
we should have someone
very special
else
on this show.
That will be introduced in the juice.
Exactly, in the juice. Someone who's also very knowledgeable about juice-related topics.
Yeah.
And who will be a very hilarious, funny addition to the show.
So hopefully he's out there preparing.
Exactly. Hopefully he is. And I am very excited.
Me too.
That he's hopefully going to be a part of this. It's going to be
a fun time.
Very interesting. So, on that note, thank you for tuning in if you did, and if you stuck through this whole hour, fucking 13 minutes or whatever of it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting, and have a good day.
El Jugo.
El Jugo.